Hello, good evening, and welcome to Not All the Things. And today we are diving into something that I think can be really misunderstood, and that's a conversation about vulnerability. And I see it as a way to really identify your strength, although many people may see it as not something that they want to embrace. But at 50 years old, you better go ahead and embrace vulnerability because it can definitely, I think, can be transformative. Today, we're going to talk about it. I have four little points that I want to leave you with, and I do hope that you will share this. And if you are new here, welcome. Click the like and the notification and come on back. And if you are returning, thank you for helping me get over the 200 mark of subscribers. And now that I'm past the 200, I'm going to just mosey on down to 250. So please help me spread the news about the good work that's happening and the good conversations that we are having over here. So, how do we start leaning into vulnerability when we have spent so many years guarding ourselves? The first thing you need to do is start small. Exactly what that sounds like. Trust, share with someone that you trust, and say the uncomfortable things out loud. I'm worried about this. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to take care of something. Just lean into your relationship and start small. And others will be open to hearing you. You ain't got to share your business with everybody. I'm not saying that. You don't have to talk with everyone, but just pick a few friends and try it out and say it out loud and say, you know what? I do believe in myself, but I am worried about this and I want to talk about this. And these are the things that are swirling for me. Why me? Why is this happening right now? Why not me? This could happen, right? So the very first thing is to start small. My second thought that has been helping me is to journal it out. Sometimes we don't even know what we're holding on to until we start writing. And we're like, wait, let me just get this down. Okay, how am I feeling about this? You know what? I'm not really sure. Let me just write it. Let me just write it. If I'm not quite ready to share it, let me just write it. But that will be a way to embrace some of those vulnerable edges that you have, right? And it should help you to grow because you go back, you reflect on what you wrote, and you start adding to it and you start mulling it over and seeing if it makes sense to even yourself, right? Number three, speak your truth. Not everybody is going to want to come on and start a YouTube channel, but you can use your voice. It has value. You can say it in a group of people. You can say it on a screen. You can write it, but find a way to speak your truth because your lived experience is someone else's lived experience. It may not be exactly the same, but there's going to be some like-mindedness. There's going to be some connection. And there're going to be people who hear you and go, that's me. I get it. You speaking to me. And so your vulnerability can open up something for someone else. That's my whole reason for being here. My own vulnerability about stepping out on faith and wanting to talk about what I was seeing around me, my own sister friends, not willing to give themselves a break, take a break, slow down, and not to do all the things, encouraged me, sparked me. And then I just said out loud, I want to start a podcast. And I'm just gonna say it. And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna do it. So speak your truth. It could be out in a public space, it could be in a smaller venue, but find a way to speak your truth. And number four, give yourself grace. we're being vulnerable, we have to give ourselves permission to be in progress, right? Being vulnerable is practice, right? It's not a one time, oh, I'm vulnerable today, but I'm not going to be vulnerable next week. It's not that. You're journeying. We're all journeying, right? And so if we're growing, we have to give ourselves grace because there are going to be mistakes that are made, and it's okay, right? So give yourself grace. That is number 4. And it's really important that you do that for yourself. So, just to recap, number 1, start small. Number 2, journal it. Number 3, speak your truth. And number 4, give yourself grace. So many of us have been taught that being vulnerable and showing emotion and asking for help is a sign of weakness. But at this stage in the game, we can't be doing everything for everyone. We can't be, I am every woman. We have to think about vulnerability not as a weakness, but as Brene Brown would say, courage in motion, right? So if you embrace vulnerability, it could look like saying that you don't know something when you're trying to learn something new, saying that you are lonely and that you need to reconnect and that you're missing people, right? Owning that. It could also be trying something totally new or trying something that you're familiar with, but way over there in a space that is totally new, in a culture that is totally new. Even if you're not sure how it's going to work out, even if you're going to fail at it, but you could also be successful at it, right? So leaning into vulnerability, as Brene Brown would say, is the birthplace of connection and creativity. And in this season of life, don't we deserve deep connection? And I mean deep connection and bold creative energy? Of course we do. So let's deal with that vulnerability. And let's not shy away from being vulnerable. Let's embrace that. So what does leaning into vulnerability look like? It can look like stronger relationships, right? If you open up and you share how you're feeling with others and you invite them in, they too will be able to do the same thing. They trust you enough and they hear your story, they'll connect to your story. It can lead to personal freedom, letting go of that, like everything has to be perfect and you have to know everything. No, you can be like, listen, free up some emotional energy and some space. I don't know. And it's okay that I don't know. I don't have to know everything. And my personal favorite right now, if you lean into vulnerability, it may offer you growth and opportunity. Being vulnerable, saying yes to something that seems like, wait, this is a little bit unknown, whether it's a career pivot, go back and look at my pivot video, or if you begin to tell your story, it just opens you up to new chapters. So if you lean into it, there's some goodness that can come out of it. So I want to leave you with this. Vulnerability isn't about being weak. It's about being real. It's about being real about your feelings, and that is where your power lives. At this stage, you have the right to be unapologetically bold, honest, curious, emotional, whatever comes up, you should own that, feel that, and work through it. I hope that something in this conversation resonated for you, and if so, please feel free to share it. I would love for you to drop in the comments one way that you are being vulnerable, or at least thinking about being vulnerable, and accept it. It is okay to be in that space. Really, it is. We're still evolving, we're still growing. And so we should be able to be vulnerable a little bit. Thank you for being with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. If it makes sense, share with a sister friend who you think might need this message. And I would love for you all to be with me next Wednesday live. I am going to have my friend Kim with the gems here, and we're going to talk about creating community abroad. I had a fantastic conversation with her, and I shared that last time she's on my playlist, Having the Audacity to Move. She lives part-time in the US and part-time in Mexico. And I want to talk to her about how she creates community abroad, and how we create community at home. So I do hope that you all will join me, and remember to not do all of the things. Let's just take it easy. Cheers. Till next week.